Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Art, the A+ nerd, and here we are going to review Batman Arkham Asylum. Not to be confused with the game with the same name, but we will get to that later. Before we get into it, just a little update on the rate of how these videos are going to go up, or actually just the whole production. I don't really have a set schedule per se. I am new to this, so it is going to take me time to figure it out. With my job requiring me to be there at 4 a.m. in the morning. Also, you know, me still learning and getting the hang of YouTube in general and this whole editing process, coupled with the fact that my wife and I are actually expecting pretty soon. The videos are gonna kind of be random as far as upload times, but I will try to at least get it up twice a month, at least to start. Hopefully, as the more that we go along, maybe the more content I produce, and maybe there'll be some more stuff. But that's ahead in the future. Jeez, we're only on our second video, man. Calm down. Also working on getting my Twitter and my Instagram up and running, so I got that also going. Hopefully, I can get on my channel by the end of the week at least. So yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and get to the video. So, Arkham Asylum is a graphic novel written in 1989 by Grant Morrison. I believe this was his first run at Batman, which actually led him to be a regular on many of the Batman titles in the future. So the premise goes, Batman meets up with Jim Gordon and is being informed about a riot taking place in Arkham Asylum. The Joker calls him at the same time, inviting him to the asylum to confront his biggest fears, as well as the villains that he's put there, such as Killer Croc, Mad Hatter, and Two-Face, just to name a few. As Batman goes deeper into the asylum, he discovers how it was established, the history of its founder, Amadeus Arkham, and the supernatural and psychological horror that has been haunting the area. Now, this version of Batman was influenced by The Dark Knight Returns, written by Frank Miller. That version of Batman, he's older, more brutal, and pretty much has no Fs. Morrison wanted the novel to be his own version of Batman, with themes as symbolism and psychological horror while depicting how insanity works, but also having psychologically different versions of Batman's classic villains, like Maxie Zeus, who is obsessed with electric shocks. Like Maxie Zeus, who's obsessed with electric shocks and coprophagia? Clayface, who is literally wasting away from the lack of feeding. Like, you see him just get skinnier or weaker throughout the pages. The Mad Hatter, whose obsession with Alice in Wonderland is kind of like pedophilic. And then there's like the Joker, who describes his mental condition as super sanity. Pretty much he reinvents himself every day just to suit his own damn circumstances. He can be a prankster one day and then a homicidal maniac the other. But yeah, no, the list goes on. The artwork was done by Dave McKean, who did the principal art and the cover art for the novel. While he was drawing the story, he blended paintings and drawings, photography, and other stuff just to come up with what you see in the novel here. To him, he thought like the normal painted, lavish illustrations kind of hampered the storytelling. McKean uses symbolism, imagery, and surrealism to denote a particular psychological device. The novel even got praised for its lettering work, which was like giving each character their own fonts, kind of giving them insight to how their psyche was perceived. There's different speech bubbles that were used for different characters, like Batman's was black and white, Maxie's was like blue with Greek font, and the Joker didn't really have a bubble. His speech like was just splattered all over the page with red, almost lipstick-like coloring. The novel was so popular, it even spawned a video game. See? Told you we get there. The game was loosely based on the novel. While in the comic book, Batman was invited by the Joker to come to the asylum. He's actually seen in the game checking in the Joker to the asylum for the riot that happened at Blackgate. Another difference is that the new warden of Arkham is Quincy Sharp, and he believes himself to be like a reincarnation of Amadeus Arkham. Sharp actually makes references to the history that's outlined in the novel, such as Now, the game Batman Arkham Asylum was so successful that it spawned a series of Arkham games, like Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Origins. Arkham Knight was actually the last entry in the series. Grant Morrison even said the game was his inspiration for the Batman Incorporated series in the comic book line. He said that he wanted to capture the feeling of Batman Arkham Asylum, where when you play the game, for the first time it was like you were Batman. He actually quoted, "When I played that game, it was the first time in my life where I actually felt what it was like to be Batman. We are now the heroes and we can look through their eyes." So yeah, Arkham Asylum, obviously a classic. Without this, we wouldn't have the Batman games we have now. Probably wouldn't have a lot of other versions of Batman that we now know and love. So that concludes my review, guys. It's definitely a different take on the Batman mythos and on the character himself. But yeah, if you guys like psychologically thrilling horror, pretty much, it's definitely the novel for you guys. Also, if some of you guys haven't played the Arkham games yet, you know who you are. I strongly suggest you guys pick it up, seriously, especially if you're a real big fan of Batman. Alright guys, if you like this video, I'll go ahead and leave links to the description for you guys so you can go ahead and check them out. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell to be notified when I put a video up. And once again, I'm Art, the A+ Nerd, and I'm out.